beautiful! Так. Что-то какая-то мелодия, по-моему, взята откуда-то. Ну ладно. Это из Fantasy Star португалского. Ой, так. Привет, Сейфикс. Так, я знаю, что у меня могут быть траблы с захватом. Ага, захватилась. Стоп. Как прошел TSO? Очень даже неплохо. Очень даже неплохо. Блин, может быть сделать маленькое окно? Да нет, наверное, лучше большое. Так, и я хочу еще звук немного убавить. И привет, Paradise Line. Это звук, конечно, по ушам долбит. Ну ладно. Так, новая игра. И Революцион.
This must be the place. Professor Ubier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I had a bad feeling about this.
Вот это завязка. Ну, еще будет в стиле Индианы, что ли? Толкай стульчик. А толку от паука, если пустили огонь? Ну, почему не просто поджечь? И привет, Стефан. Блин, там что-то валяется. А, это дротик. О, он теперь будет меня ждать, что ли?
I couldn't reach what... I couldn't... There were only 3 things I didn't like about spiders. The way they looked, the way they moved, and the fact that they lived on the same planet as me. This spider was big, mean, and hairy, and definitely not a native of Europe. I glanced over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such luck. But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood.
Не играл.
It was too big and heavy to move.
Блин, даже в Steam есть она, я в нее так и не поиграл, только она на английском. А можешь русификатор накатить? Помощь управления, дневник персонажа. О, карманы. А, это типа... Угу. О, этот процентаж пишет. Стоп, а где... А как сохраняться? А, угу, понял. Привет, Серж. Я первую часть прошел очень неплохо. Короткая, наверное. И немножко такая методичная, я бы сказал. Типа не очень много экшена. Потому что Индиана тот же, он побольше экшена. Ну такая, типа... Видел квесты и получше.
But it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape.
То есть игра явно неплохая, но она немножко... Ты ждешь от нее Индиана Джонса, а получаешь что-то медитативное. Ну, и именно вот поэтому оно такое, типа. Но Джонсона досил point and click, самый typical, который я играл.
The bookcase had fallen on its front, making it impossible to reach the books inside. The bureau had a sliding lid. In the drawer was a small decorated pot. Inside, I found a bottle of tequila. Normally, I didn't drink strong spirits.
Ну, типа того, да.
Disgusting.
Слушай, зачем ты выпил? Ну, кстати, вылетело что-то. Червяк. А зачем мне червяк?
But life had taught me one thing. No matter how unlikely it seems, the strangest objects have their uses. Even tequila worms.
Да, и текилу возьми. А текилу брать не хочет. Ну ладно.
It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful.
То есть мы взяли ее трусы, да? Понятно.
It was Nico's back. I don't and besides which, that dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end. But this didn't deter me from getting it anyway. I wasn't going to touch the box. It was the box. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. It was a soda fountain. Perfect for mixing.
Но брать это не будет, то есть мне надо как-то давление там организовать.
I guess I had no, but I figured it might give me a clue. It was from Andre Lobineau, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Lobineau figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe that that creep was in the running.
Вам персонажа слышно или же вам погромче речь сделать? Как вам игра по громкости?
It looked like a house key. It was Nico's lipstick. It wasn't my color, and it reminded me of clowns. It looked like a house key.
Ключ большой, правильно? От шкафчика, да. Так.
That isn't it. I wasn't gonna touch the box after.
Ну, через трусы. Ну ладно. О, окно.
I wasn't going to get through those sturdy bars. The bars attached to the window would. They also stopped. I'd already ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. There was nothing else in the drawer. It was a closed.
Стоп, а я уже его открывал, нет?
There was nothing. It was a closed.
Ну да.
Nice couple. Ubier and his wife, I guess.
Кстати, мне показалось, или у них глаза шевелились?
Ubier and his.
Мне показалось. Так, и зачем мне картина?
I had no further use. The projecting bracket had served it. I had no time. The rope was shredded and no possible use to me.
В смысле?
Rope was shredded.
Бери веревку. Мне кажется, эта часть уже посложнее будет. Червяк.
That wouldn't work.
Так.
I wasn't going to touch the box after that spider had been inside it. Not such a good idea.
Ну-ка, а что он
Fire
скажет про
taken
огонь?
hold and ignited part of the polished wooden floorboards.
Ну, не хочу брать.
There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas.
Как можно сделать газ? Он не
It was the
хочет
box
трогать
that spider
коробку.
crawled from.
Если паука там уже нет.
I wasn't gonna touch the.
Может, с трупа паука что-то взять можно?
I wasn't touching that spider goo. Yellow pot. That spider was very. It was Nico. It was that itsy bitsy tequila worm. I really must remember to take it out of my pants before I send them to the laundry. It was the poison dart which had stunned Nico. I'd never known anything keep her quiet so effectively.
Может ли быть то, что ключ от окна, и через окно я выберусь? Нет. Ну-ка, если просто зайду ключ на дверь. Но он типа скажет, что надо огонь потушить, правильно?
The house key didn't fit into the keyhole.
Не входит в скважину.
The key was. I wasn't going to get.
Вообще было бы логичнее, если бы за картиной что-то было.
Ubier and his wife, I guess.
Но мне ничего кликнуть не дают, даже если нажимаю правой кнопкой, либо левой.
Even if I had the time, the bookcase was too heavy to lift. Besides, I had more important things to do than shift furniture, saving my neck for one.
Я не помню. Я помню, что в первой части, там в пещере, для того, чтобы пройти, надо было нажать в одно место правой кнопкой. И он что-то с ней сделал, в итоге и активировался скрипт. А так я всегда тыкал везде по игре левой, и ничего не происходило. Поэтому я, так сказать, и то проверяю на всякий
The rope was
случай.
shredded and no
И он
possible.
разные комментарии к тому же дает на это
It
все.
was the chair I'd been tied to.
Мне еще нравится, там говорит огонь, такой думает, давай подожди, пока игрок не будет разогреваться.
The
Ну,
projector
в оригинале,
had no
в
further
первой
than a
части,
bracket.
можно было умереть. В ремастере смерти убрали, но при этом добавили новые сюжетные
I'd already ran some, and
локации.
besides which,
Что-то я вообще не понимаю, что надо делать. Помада.
I wasn't not such a. I'd better. Nope.
При встрече с ассасином. И, по-моему, еще от козла, что ли. Мы не знаем, откуда ключ. Правильно? Правильно. Фотографии я подвинуть никак не могу. Это было бы логично. Ну, точнее, при козле там был тайминг, что тебе надо это в одно место двигнуть, потом в другое. А вот умирал ли ты от козла, это я не знаю. Ну тогда и если спалиться перед тайным орденом в катакомбах. А там можно спалиться? Я-то в щель посмотрел и все. Ну, мне кажется... А, ну, если ты дальше пойдешь, не пойдешь в щель, то может быть, да. Там что-то такое будет. Как соорудить огнетушитель? Если бы я выпил стаканчик кофе в аэропорту. Шкафчик заперт. Был бы логично, коль бы я бы... Слишком большой. Давай поковыряем дротиком в замочной скважине. Действительно. Ну, если что, дротиком, мне кажется, невозможно это сделать, но ну ладно. Значит, возьми трусами. Логично? Трусяк.
The cylinder gave out a faint hiss as the valve opened.
Дурак, что ли?
Primed up and ready to use extinguisher. With a well-aimed squirt of his soda fountain, our unshakable hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico.
Эх, если бы так было бы все просто в жизни.
I wasn't gonna burn myself on that red-hot doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety. I'd found a piece of newspaper folded in two. It referred to a forthcoming eclipse of the sun. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be visible from Europe. The best place to view the eclipse would be Mexico.
Так, и мне, по-моему, позвонить надо было.
Much as I disliked him, Labano might be my only hope of finding Nico. Hi, Andre?
Who is this?
It's George Stobart, Nico's boyfriend.
Don't you mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Nico.
Can't you accept she's just not interested in you?
Listen, Andre, we need to talk. Nico's life depends on it.
Okay. You remember the cafe at Montfaucon?
Sure. Andre? You'd better show, you creep.
Блин, здесь какая-то страшная анимация у них.
It was the newspaper clipping referring to the imminent eclipse. Wrapped inside it was another small piece of paper. It was a bank statement for Ubier's account from an automatic telling machine. The last 5 withdrawals were for large amounts, and all made in Marseille.
А, тут ключ, наверное, надо использовать. Да. Логично.
I unlocked the door. I I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labino again, but he was my only link with Miko. There was no sign of Labino when I got to the cafe. I decided to order a coffee and wait for him. Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
Вестерникс. Год сидишь. Да.
I'm waiting for an acquaintance.
Bon. And you have found another. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
А, это возврат от диалога.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art.
Да, ее увеличили.
Little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
Да, проходил.
I couldn't snatch the man's flask while he was looking. What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail. What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device.
Вот это совпадение.
Poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
И все? Больше ничего не расскажешь?
Oh, garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate. It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labino. The waiter's stained and crumpled clothes looked as if they'd been slept in. I decided not to bother with a meal.
Нет, зачем-то предлагает фляжку. Так я ж с ним все обсудил.
I had nothing else I wanted.
Может, на официанта что-то применить?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.
В смысле?
I had nothing else I wanted to ask the gendarme.
На, трусы. Уходи.
He wouldn't have wanted that.
Почему? Почему-то... Откуда он знает, что не нужно? О, он как кофе
Thanks.
где-нибудь тащил.
What does that guy keep pouring out of his flask?
Absinthe.
Absinthe? I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is. Don't look at me. I didn't sell it to him.
Do you know a guy called André Lobino?
Oui. I know him. What of it?
I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No. I have not seen him today.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and they wrote a tight alibi.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Look at this. A poisoned dart.
Ah, oui. Sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
That's all.
Thank you.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
I wouldn't normally call you. But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler has kidnapped her. And he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy, and the guy who kidnapped Nico is from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
Какой он тут злобный
What
вообще.
suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Where did Nico get the stone?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself. Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all.
No, I don't.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
Так и знал.
What
Что
can you
что-то в
tell
этом
me
роде
about
будет.
this
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
guy? Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank, the Gliese Gallery.
Take a look at this, Andre.
It's a bank statement.
Yeah, Professor Oubier's account. 5 large cash withdrawals in the space of 3 days, all from an automatic teller in Marseille. Suspicious, isn't it?
You're even more crazy than you were before.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Жюри.
I've had enough of your games, Kala. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either
Окей.
you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough. I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
The man was still... Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him.
Забавно, что стоп, он не смотрит. Можно было флягу стащить.
What?
Didn't you try to...
There was no point. It was my word against that of the chief inspector. And he was a close friend of the director of the museum I was supposed to be patrolling.
Серьезно.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink. Excuse me.
Лёш, сейчас ничего не смутишь, что у него абсолютно пропал?
Ever heard of Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
Я могу отсюда уходить.
He was too... I had no desire to... Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
Давай Сейферикс. О, тут выбор есть. Давай первый. Стоп, подожди. Вот это Мубье. А что я тут новое найду? Какой
I
толк
had
от
a choice
этого?
of destinations. The cafe at
Го в галерею.
The Glee's gallery had
Блин, карта мне больше нравилась в первой части.
customers.
Тут она какая-то... Ее пока нету, как минимум. %12. Ого. Сейчас я подойду. Так. Горшок Майи.
The pots were protected by a glass case. I couldn't believe it. The pots were marked at 5,000 francs each. As far as I could tell, the pots were almost identical to the one I'd found in Ubier's house. Hi, girls.
И все? Господи.
What's the joke?
Да, ну и страх.
Okay, fine.
Господи. Можно я больше с ними не буду разговаривать? О, белый квадрат
In
Малевича.
a desolate landscape, highly cubist. Rectangles in a desolate landscape, highly cubist.
Бокал. Ой, бокал пропал.
The way that guy was gripping the glass, I'd need a wrench to get away from him. Are you Mr. Glees, the owner?
Good God, no.
Then I guess that must be him over there, right?
Your powers of deductive reasoning astound me.
Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Yes, of course.
I was at his house earlier.
If you're going to drop names, you could at least name one worth dropping.
I thought Ubier was a well-respected man.
Why, his last book was nothing but pseudo-intellectual claptrap. The demented ramblings of a drug-dependent has-been.
What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glees can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
Would you give me your opinion on this pot, sir?
Yes, very rapouche.
Rapouche?
Hideous.
Слышь?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Петух, что
What's the
ли?
difference between my pot and all those other pots?
Yours is broken.
Why, you smug, pompous sloth.
Sticks and stones, dear boy, sticks and stones.
You smashed my pot.
Certainly, it was not only worthless, it was ugly and offensive.
To you, maybe.
Believe me, I was doing you a favor.
I wasn't going to waste any more breath talking to that pompous blimp. Maybe I could turn the situation to my advantage, and at the same time, get my revenge. The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve.
Ну, если бы я к нему потом пошел,
A
интересно.
valuable relic of an ancient civilization.
Я бы смог бы
smashed
расспросить
into
про
a
горшок? Блин, инвентарь. Я готов. В смысле, ты не хочешь ему червяка в бокал засунуть? Да ладно.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Certainly, sir. I'd be most happy to oblige.
You're English?
These days one prefers to think of oneself as European.
Sure. Whatever you say.
And how precisely may one assist you, sir?
What I really wanted to ask you about was a black stone.
A black stone?
Yeah, it's a Mayan artifact, about as big as my hand.
No, sir, one doesn't get much call for black stones. If it's Mayan artifacts you're interested in, I have some rather exquisite pots.
So did I, until that slob smashed it. Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Of course. His name is synonymous with Mayan art. A number of these artifacts were supplied by Ubier himself.
Do you believe the story that Ubier murdered his wife?
If it was true, who can blame him? She was an opportunist tramp. Well, that's what I heard.
Have you seen any of Ubier's wife's films?
Only one. Believe me, I was appalled, shocked, disgusted, and repulsed.
Well, you sure got your money's worth. Last time I went to the movies, I wasn't even titillated. I suppose you have an import license for these relics?
Of course. But that's not my problem, sir. The professor arranges all the shipping. We simply collect the items from the docks.
Could you tell me which docks Professor Ubier uses to import the artifacts?
Good God, no. I can't possibly reveal my commercial secrets.
Do you get many Central American Indians in here?
No, sir. This is Paris. Central America is several thousand kilometers southwest of here. Straight across the Atlantic Ocean and turn left. You can't miss it.
Well, as it happens, I saw some Central American Indians this very morning.
Tourists, sir. Paris is full of them at this time of year.
I have some questions I'd like to ask about those pots.
The Mexican collection? Certainly, sir.
Where did you get them from?
Mexico, of course. I think sir will find the price extremely reasonable.
Hey, I'm not interested in buying them.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, you'll excuse me.
То есть мы с тобой не
There's a
договорили.
gentleman over there who seems to be enjoying your wine.
I can't think why. It was very cheap.
I found this news story referring to a total eclipse of the sun.
Really, sir? Well, fascinating.
I had no possible use for a credit card reader. Spheres in a barren waste. Oh, very profound. I could see a pattern emerging in this artist's work. Spheres.
И чего?
Excuse me, sir. That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
Короче, видимо, их надо стравить друг с другом.
The way that guy was gripping the glass, I...
Еще девушке
I've
зачем?
had enough of talking to that.
Может, им червяка показать? Может, они поразговорчивее будут?
If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico.
Вон язык показывает, кстати, чувак, который подходит к магазину.
I couldn't believe it. The pot... If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico.
Вот так вот незаметно мы подлили ему абсент. Нормально?
I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
И не важно, что мы стояли рядом.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah.
Удивительная игра.
What do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Gleese's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
I'd had enough of talking to that slob. The pot had smashed into too many pieces. A valuable relic of an ancient...
А синюю штуку не взять, да? А почему он решил обойти? Короче, теперь, когда он шатается, я думаю, можно взять стакан, правильно?
The way that guy was gripping the...
А чё он перестал шататься?
I'd had enough... Allow me.
Значит, еще добавить? Да. Чё-то пипец какой-то полный. Чё там, да.
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label. Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train. It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
Блин, по-моему, когда в первую часть я играл, там тоже проценты летели. Внезапно.
There was nothing there I wanted. It was just a heap of... Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the docks open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of a national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just know it? Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
That animal doesn't seem too hot for a guard dog.
No? You haven't seen him in action.
Doesn't look like he has the energy to wag his tail.
Just like my wife. She's like a slug in a coma until she's annoyed. Then, she's like a tiger with a rat up its ass.
Sweet. Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure. They have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her. And you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah. Struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me.
Ну, вообще, на деле, увидев то, что там было с Николь, или как это, не похоже, что она где-то на складе, ибо там бэкграунд немного другой был.
I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Ну вот. Не
Have you
сработало.
ever heard of Professor Ubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one. Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible. This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh. That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
Надо было ему изначально выписку, наверное, показать. С другой стороны, все диалоги смешные посмотрели.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from...
А, это не то. Это не выписка.
I wish
Понятненько.
you would smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice. I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
Я бы Корма бы взял на его месте.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Понятно.
Hey, 20.
Грррр. Грррр. Дурак, что ли? Дурак.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
Ну, его покормить надо. Ну, он ходит за мной, да. Угу. Окей. А как мне взять корм?
Didn't I tell...
I was nowhere near it. It's that dog. He's crazy.
Hey, mind what you say. He's sensitive to negative criticism.
Не, я хочу дверь выделить. А, можно, кстати, палку взять. А, нет. А как вернуться на другой экран? Там же был всякий разный мусор, можно было взять палку, взять, кинуть. Так, есть труба еще, кстати.
Ouch! That's hot.
Раз горячо, трусы помогут.
Panties would not have been thick enough to shield this level of heat.
Угу. Блин, как много у меня разных бумажек тут.
Found in the Glee's gallery.
Дротиком поднять. А, можно червяка попробовать скормить собаке
Dog
дать.
looked like he already had more worms than he needed.
Что-то сосед прям прорвался. На одной ноте тянет. Просто безудержно.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Да в смысле не страшно, корм возьми, но это же очевидно. Ну нельзя как-то развестись, а произвести с ним обмен. Что я должен сделать? Это Серж в первую часть только играл? Или... И во вторую? Претал-то. Именно так, именно так. И второй, и третий.
Breaking steel padlocks with my
Неплохо.
bare hands was a feat I'd never mastered.
И как оно, по наклонной идет?
I decided I would not be able to pick a 5-barrel
Блин,
hardened
компьютер
steel heavy-duty padlock with a dart.
Сосед Не, просто сейчас сгорит с этого всего. Может, труселя на собаку натянуть?
He didn't look like a sniffer dog to me.
Нет. Помадой его изрисовать?
Breaking steel padlocks with my bare hands was a feat I'd never mastered.
Ну, может, это правило 3 раз? О, он его покормил.
Stay away from that fence, asshole.
Раньше он так делал? Блин, собака меня преследует.
Stay away.
А, это забор. Ну, замок я не взломаю, правильно, дротиком?
Not be able to pick a 5-barrel
Конечно.
hardened steel heavy-duty padlock with a dart.
Так, а зачем мне нужна труба? Я могу разобрать помаду? Нет.
It was the letter to Nick sickening. It was Ubier's.
Hey, 20. Hey, 20.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
А, можно пройти. Багор? Что такое багор? Это палка же, не?
The stick had a hook on one end. I
А,
found
палка с крюком.
for hooking boats.
Угу, понятненько. Ну, и я предполагаю, багора мне надо бутылку достать. Блин, я могу собаку, что ли, скинуть в воду? Багором
I
этим.
just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. It was the beer bottle that slob of a watchman had dumped in the sea, now half full of filthy dock water. The label read, Surge, the beer that clears your head.
Но абсент у меня больше нету. И чего?
My arms weren't.
Как там хозяин в домике, разве нет? Нормально так.
I couldn't reach the coat. No, I had to think of something else. I couldn't reach the door. I couldn't reach the door. couldn't reach the No, that's wrong. That wouldn't work. I couldn't reach... I couldn't reach the... No way could I reach the light from where I was standing.
Он, по-моему, ни до чего не дотягивается.
I couldn't reach... Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Так.
Couldn't reach... It was the door which led to the docks on the other side of the fence. I couldn't... A shabby old overcoat hung from a peg near the door. Impaled on a spike were a number of documents. Something was bubbling in the watchman's saucepan. It was a box of blank forms.
А, надо было с ним поговорить, что ли?
Huh? Who's there?
Да.
The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney.
Дурак, что ли, в трубу заглядывать?
Exposed without its cone. The chimney was a metal pipe which disappeared into the wall. It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke.
Двери закрыть нельзя?
I wouldn't have considered wearing it if it was the watchman's. The box contained nothing. It was a box. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition? Yow! Stove equals heat, heat equals burn, burn equals excruciating pain. I realized that that wasn't such a good idea. Baked beans in ketchup. That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was. The packet was full of dog biscuits.
Сделать тут еще что-то можно?
That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was. Oh no. One piece. No. Baked beans in ketchup.
В смысле, есть снотворное.
No.
Поздоровить-ка нельзя его, да. Капать. Еще бас меня прогонит, правильно?
What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Just hold on to that dog.
Ну да. А так бы, наверное, собака бы загрызла. Так, я могу печку открыть? Нет. Ну в чем прикол плаща?
Overcoat. I wasn't Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
Я, кажется, понял.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy.
Бедная собака.
I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a... well, like a dog.
И уплыла она в закат. Да, ничего, Серж. Третья вроде в 3D. Ну да, там, по-моему, где-то осуществился переход в трехмерную плоскость. А он там остался point-and-кликом, или там именно от третьего лица нажимаешь VASD и подходишь к предметам и тыкаешь? Типа как, не знаю, в The Elder Scrolls. Не помнишь? Мне просто интересен этот переход, грубо говоря.
I decided not to tamper with the clamp. Those jaws looked like it could snap shut at any moment. I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall.
Вязды.
Still open from the
Я
inside.
видел только первую часть, которая 36 минут, а именно без сарказма часть не видел.
The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking.
Власт это, конечно, провалище, да. Есть такое. Ну, ВАСД это ведь о платформинговой площадке, правильно, стримерской, где там сейчас конкурс проходит? Или ты о чем-то другом? Глянул видео касательно квеста, и там ВАСД. Все, я понял. Матерь Божья.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. I couldn't reach the blades of the fan, which was just as well. If I'd stuck my fingers in there, I'd never be able to play guitar again. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing.
Понял тебя.
I wouldn't have been hurt over the... I wouldn't have been hurt... The window was jammed shut.
Подойду. Так. Блин, надо, наверное, ноут разобрать. Все в прошлый раз разборка закончилась тем, что он не включался. За ним, видимо, вентилятор, он как-то опускается вниз и начинает все дребезжать. Так, мне надо выключить вентилятор, правильно? Чтобы они меня услышали. Как можно сломать вентилятор? А еще можно углем кинуться в человека. Возможно, он услышит и откроет. Ну так кинь в него. Нет? Ладно, нам намекают на вентилятор.
grill opened from the inside. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall. This sign also... A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. The sign looked as if it... I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. I decided not to tamper with the clamp. The clamp was held in a... I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any... It was a beautiful piece of 19th... It read Pont de Nord. I didn't recognize the letter. It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. A sturdy chain and the doors looked 100. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. The doors looked 100 years.
Ну, надо что-то сделать явно с вентилятором. Как-то его сломать. Осталось только понять, как.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. It was a duct from a ventilation fan. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do.
Я не понимаю, как отключить вентилятор? Типа... Ее включить? Труба идет наверх. Еще здесь какое-то устройство есть непонятное. Кстати, бочки я не тыкал. А в чем подвох?
A fine old oak barrel. The clamp consisted of two metal jaws which would close when weight was applied to them.
Я бы на самом деле бы скидывал бочки, пока у них не кончится, и не пойму, что я все скинул в море. И что-то я сомневаюсь, что мне надо на первый экран идти. Ибо там, наверное, бочки эти прибило. И я там навряд ли что-то найду.
I decided not to tamper with the clamp. The clamp was held in a mechanism.
Дверной замок. Как-то цепью связать с... А, на другой экран нельзя. С этим натягателем и натянуть, типа. Но мне нечем их связать. Чтобы вот этот замок открыть. А куда он ходит?
It was a short... I just couldn't see anywhere to gain a leverage.
Колесо.
There was a little grill set into the door. The grill opened from the inside. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking. That would never...
Блин, у меня, кстати, предметы из инвентаря все еще нет самое. Не убирают у меня их, не отнимают, точнее. Значит, они еще понадобятся, я полагаю. Вентилятор. Сейчас он скажет, не могу достичь до лопастей, потому что корп не дает.
The fan was making one... It was the metal cone I'd taken from the chimney of the watchman's hut.
Я не понимаю, что нам делать. Почему действительно не кинуть? В чем проблема его?
I wouldn't have been hurt.
Где логика?
No. The room was filled with transglobal crates. The room was filled. I wouldn't have been... The guy was part... It was the creep who kidnapped Nico. And I had a score to settle.
Тот самый бандит.
I thought better of tampering with a high-speed fan. It was a powerful fan. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Ну я не понимаю. Чё он не может пролезть в щель там, где бочки? Бочек много. Обратно их не оттащить. На другой экран не вернуться. Я тут застрял. Бочку тоже нет смысла протыкать. Мне надо попасть внутрь. Внутри бандиты. Значит, кричать на них нельзя. По логике, я должен сломать вентилятор, они выйдут, и я спущусь на вот эту вот штуковине вниз, и затем пройду вовнутрь. Вопрос, как сломать вентилятор. Выключателя я здесь вообще не вижу.
No.
Так я вроде это юзал, разве нет?
That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Мне это самая первая идея пришла в голову.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. The boat hook was jammed and the fan was a real mess. A splintered boat hook. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention. Nope. The room was filled with transglobal crates. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates.
Теперь имеет смысл в них уголь кидать? Нет. А, можно постучаться? Блин, но они меня видели же. Толку от этого. Надо на всякий случай сохраниться. Есть у меня такое подозрение.
Who is it?
Pizza delivery?
I didn't order pizza.
No? This is the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company, isn't it?
I don't like pizza.
Oh, come on. Everyone likes pizza. Maybe he was allergic to mozzarella. Hey,
What now?
look. This pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
The grill opened. If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
Ого, а смерти-то здесь оставили. Я понял, что надо сделать. Я просто не успел.
Who is it? My name is Stobart, George Stobart. What do you want? I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm gonna do to you. I got the feeling.
Ты можешь побыстрее идти, нет? Хм.
I decided.
Я думал, за мной пойдет. Я поднимусь наверх, проберусь. А там еще один человек есть. Может, дверь как-то заклинить.
Hey, what now? Police, we want to talk to you about abduction, arson, and attempted murder. You got a warrant? Sure, I got a warrant. Open the door, I'll show you. You wait. That's got him scared and angry.
Ну, типа застрелили копа, что ли? Кое мы представили. Ну да. Значит, надо что-то другое сделать. Может, в окно посмотреть, когда он идет?
Who is it? Is this Condor Transglobal? Nobody here. Go away. I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in or I'll bust down the door. Okay. I'm coming. He didn't sound too happy.
Может, дротиком в него шмальнуть, когда он внизу будет? С ним ничего нельзя сделать. Видимо, бочку заюзать. И он посмотрит наверх и чего?
Hey, what now? My name is Stobart, George Stobart. What do you want? I want to return your spider. I pulled it. I got...
Он оказался еще глупее, чем я думал. Надо было еще раз бочку скатить на него. Ну, что-то я не подумал.
Who is it? My name is... What do you... I want... I pulled it... I got...
Ну, наверное, имеет смысл еще раз сохраниться. Только на другой слот уже.
I wasn't going back out. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Coromonte City. There was a notice board beside the desk. There was nothing else. It was locked. The little brass key didn't fit the lock.
Видимо, дротик больше не пригоден для взлома замков.
All the crates were firmly sealed. The room was filled with... Whoa! Don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? What do you want? He seemed excited, almost desperate. What did he want so bad? Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Guaramonte!
Is that where you're from? Coromonte City?
Guaramonte! Guaramonte!
Okay. What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without her. Where is she? He didn't appear to understand me. Tell me what you've done with Nico, and I'll share these biscuits with you. I knew it sounded lame, trying to bargain with a box of doggy snacks. Besides, how was he to know how yummy they tasted? Do you know what this is?
Peito. Lotseka peito. Hinyakotla goino moto.
This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotseka peito fnor.
What does this key unlock?
Huh?
You're Manacle. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here. The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. All the crates were... The room was filled with...
И там, наверное, бандит, и меня сейчас убьют.
Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and stopped anyone from using the elevator. But what now? Holding my hand in front of the eye would stop the doors from...
Закрасить
Wrong.
фотоэлемент. Закрыть
No,
крышкой.
that's wrong. It was a device to prevent the elevator doors closing when they were obstructed.
Поставить уголек
Better
перед
think
ним.
this through.
А что ему все не нравится?
I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. The little crate was precariously balanced. There. That would keep the doors from closing. I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light. I decided to leave the... I was wrestling with the small crate when I noticed the label on its side. Danger. Live contents do not drop. No chance. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. There wasn't enough room to move the handle.
Загадка с ящиками, что ли?
I couldn't move the crate until... I didn't want to risk dropping the crate. No chance. There wasn't enough room to move. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. The short chain stopped the cuffs reaching from the statue to the winch. The statue looked way... There was no way to... A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open.
Логично статую скатить на эту штуку, чтобы дверь сломалась. Для этого мне надо как-то ящики сдвинуть. Для этой фигуры мне нужна веревка. Кандалы не подойдут. Больше мне ничего такого нету. Но трусы это не повесить явно. Здесь живой груз.
I didn't want to risk dropping the crate. I decided to leave. I couldn't move. Nothing happened. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped, a secret room. Nico!
Вы открыли бонусный комикс. Там, наверное, предыстория будет очередная, как в прошлой части.
Will you look at this? It was a small statue of a kneeling figure in an ornate headdress. The head was hideous, with huge staring eyes set in a decomposing face.
Hey, somebody's marketing Labino dolls.
I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
About time. You could at least have helped me before grabbing everything you could find.
Not so loud. They'll hear you.
Get these ropes off me right now.
You know, the mood you're in, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant.
It was a flint carving of a grotesque figure with large, evil eyes. What?
Get me out of this chair.
There. How are you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Ubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Karzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Karzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oublier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oublier.
I don't get it. If Karzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Karzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait!
Еще, наверное, надо будет сразу обронить ящик живой утварью.
We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo is recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first. The rope wasn't long enough to reach the pulley.
А веревку нельзя скомбинировать с наручниками, типа?
The statue looked... Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America. A place called Quaramonte.
I saw that name on a docket downstairs. Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes. But he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes. They're like a wild animal's. Like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Did you know Ubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Ubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moon?
Yes, you remember him?
Of course I do. But I thought he was dead.
Oh no, he reappeared after the broken sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Moon knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling. Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through André's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poison dart?
Of course I'm sore.
These doors were not going to open.
Так, и чего?
It was the strip of masking tape which the big Indian had used to gag Nico.
Может, ящик заклеить ее? Нет.
The statue looked way too heavy.
А, фотоэлемент можно заклеить.
Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator. Pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress. The statue looked way too heavy.
Теперь тележку убрать.
It was too heavy for me to move on my own. Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobart.
Так, и чую я то, что-то плохое будет. Или нет.
I thought about hanging from the cable with my bare hands, but it was too far to the other end of the cable to escape that way. Nico, I have a great idea.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, Andre. Give the stone to George.
well, of course. If you say so, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Andre.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for George, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Coromonte City.
Coromonte is in Central America. That's where Ubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, George.
Quaramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it was translated in the brochure. We didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of Condor Transglobal seemed a good place to start.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Quaramonte City.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal.
Угу. А я могу вернуться в Париж или нет? Нет, не могу.
Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. Can we get a cab to the capital?
This is the capital, Quaramonte City.
When's the next ship out of here?
But senor, don't you like our beautiful country?
Oh yeah, it's like a little piece of paradise right here on Earth.
Then why you wanna leave?
I'm just plain homesick. Like it says in the song.
A word of warning, senor. If you feel like bursting into song, bite your tongue.
Huh?
There are official restrictions on music in Quaramonte.
How come music is restricted in Quaramonte?
It is part of the great cultural enrichment campaign. Traditional Caramonte music is considered unsuitable for these fast-moving times. Nuestra Señora has decreed that only one category of music is suitable.
What's that?
Easy listening.
We've had enough. We're going back to the ship.
Okay. You show me your brown card?
Huh? What brown card is that?
The official exit visa.
Inside the hut was a chair and a small table.
Блин, а в смысле, как я сюда приехал, если мне тоже нужна была виза? Обратно я не могу.
You can't leave without an exit visa.
Inside the hut was a chair and a small table. Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have you got? Oh, never mind.
Hi, Sirius.
Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread. Pain?
Si, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry. Those things are gourds, aren't they?
Sí.
Hey! Mind the footwear, lady.
В смысле твои ботинки? Непонятно.
Hi.
You wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables. Listen, have you heard of Condor Transglobal?
No. Buy a cabbage. I'll give you a discount on bulk purchases.
I'm not into cabbages. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked, he didn't even mention his cabbages. See ya.
Горшок. Не, с ним нельзя взаимодействовать.
Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Nice fish.
Thanks.
If by some remote chance I ever need a fish, I'll be back. Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That is Tezcatlipoca, Night Hunter.
I know, but I don't believe in luck, good or bad.
You may not now, but you will.
The guy looked scared out of his wits.
Go away.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Cuaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Would either of you guys care for a biscuit?
A dog biscuit, senor?
Are you trying to insult us?
No, really. They're good.
We'll take your word for it.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Have you seen anything like...
I, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying the thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
Sure, it's Tezcatlipoca. But it's only a little carving.
It brings death, senor. Death and destruction.
What do you make of this little worm?
No good. It's dead.
Sure it's dead. You think I'd carry it around in my pocket if it wasn't? Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
What was the ship with the condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, when the Condor ship came in, we were told to go away.
Do you guys know anything about a total eclipse?
What is it?
It's like when the sun is hidden by the moon.
It's crazy.
My cousin Alfredo swears he saw it happen once. But that was after he stupidly consumed a cocktail of peyote and antibiotics.
Блин, тут много куда можно пойти.
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
Ну, где муж ее?
Married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged. Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoiled sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own.
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about anywhere's the market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the great design, George.
What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Oh, that's pretty. What's that thing supposed to be, a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one. What does this mean to you, Pearl?
What cute little feathers. Why, if you had 2 of those, they'd sure make nice earrings.
This isn't intended for frivolous personal adornment, Pearl. It's a dart, tipped with a fast-acting, muscle-numbing poison.
Pardon me, I stand corrected, honey.
Sometimes I got the feeling that communication with Pearl was like sending signals out into space. Maybe, if you waited long enough, you'd get an intelligent answer back. But it was a long shot.
Это касательно дротика? Я получу нормальный ответ.
Hoo-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
Look at this, Pearl. A tequila worm.
Don't you bring that thing anywhere near me, honey. I swear I'll scream like a hog on a hot plate.
Take a look at this news cutting, Pearl.
You'll have to read it to me, George. I left my specs in a gay bar in Santa Barbara.
Well, it's about an eclipse of the sun, which is due to occur in a few weeks' time.
You'd think the government would warn us about these kind of things.
It's not dangerous or anything. Apparently, the best place to view the eclipse is right here in Quaramonte.
Oh, my.
She didn't appear to be the slightest bit interested.
Catch you later, Pearl. Hey, Nico!
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavations. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, senor. Welcome to Quarmonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
Это там что такое? Space Impact, что ли?
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No. No, I never heard of him.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quarmonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quarmonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour. When he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Ubier, a visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Ubier?
Si, senor. Professor Ubier, a French archaeologist.
What's Ubier doing in Quarmonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor. The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
We've had enough of Quarmonte and we want out.
Am I stopping you?
The guy at the docks tells me I need an exit visa.
Ask Ronaldo. He'll make the arrangements. That's what he's here for.
Would you like a biscuit?
Are you trying to bribe me?
Well, every man has his price.
Mine is more than a dog cookie, Senor Stobart.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
That's a native carving, isn't it? Where did you get it?
We picked it up in the market as a souvenir.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso!
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
I told you. I never heard of the guy. Do I get the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing. Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
Are you sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here in Quarmonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
The musicians out in the square say that a ship flying the Condor flag was birthed here.
They are simple peasants. They will go along with anything you say in the hopes of parting you from your money.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor, whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quarmonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
I'll be back.
Так, сейчас я подойду. Хотя ладно, давайте потом пройдем. Половина игры есть, и поэтому потом и добьем. Тарям.